Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 ARC National Beef Performance Awards. Each year, the Agricultural Research Council celebrates the remarkable dedication of our producers who strive to breed cattle that enhance both the sustainability and profitability of beef production in South Africa. Tonight is a tribute to our farmers and their teams, those who turn vision into reality, ensuring food security and the advancement of our agricultural landscape. This marks the 46th year of these awards, showcasing excellence in 7 unique categories that highlight the performance and dedication of beef cattle producers. Each category, backed by industry sponsors and key role players, honors outstanding achievements in breeding, production practices, and mentorship. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Ben Greiling and his team, who will formally welcome you to this prestigious occasion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we kickstart our evening tonight with the festivities, we thought it'd be fitting for us to get into conversation with Dr. Ben Greiling, with Professor Norman and Professor Linky to give us an overview of tonight and also the contributions of ARC in the industry. I'm going to start off with Dr. Ben. Let's start with you. Give us an overview of tonight's proceedings.
Yeah, thank you, Tebogo. The proceedings of tonight is really to give recognition to outstanding performances from our farmers across different production spectra, of course. And this awards event is now running almost for 50 years, né? Wow. Yeah, where we really acknowledge the inputs that farmers have made, making use, amongst others, of scientific technologies to ensure they are sustainable and profitable and really to adapt to change. You know, they say the only constant in life is change. So they have to adapt. Climate doesn't stay constant. Socioeconomic conditions don't stay constant. So they need to adapt. And markets, of course, don't stay constant. So this awards event is really to showcase to the world how our farmers make use of scientific technology, amongst others, to really go forward and really to how to adapt. We must always remember our farmers play a central role when it comes to food security. Yeah. So they really need to be up top there, to maintain themselves. And the scientific technologies that we focus on in this awards event is performance testing. Performance testing is how do you collect performance data of animals and herds, turn that into information, and now that information is used as a very powerful tool by our farmers, by our industry, to ensure we make genetic progress, because that's really vital. You have to make genetic progress as times change, of course. And that will be showcased tonight over many different herds, many countrywide, of course. And then the other thing, of course, that we will also highlight tonight is how do farmers plow back their knowledge, their experience, their assistance to other farmers across the production spectra to really ensure that everybody gets all the resources and the tools they need to really perform and to stay in the beef value chains, of course.
Oh, quite a few things that I'll be learning as well, because I'm not very well versed when it comes to farming, I'll be honest. But by the end of this evening, I'll know everything there is to. Professor Norman, if you could please give us an overview of the field of animal production and specifically outline the role of the ARC Animal Production Campus in supporting the beef sector.
Thank you very much, Tebogo. The field of animal science, it's a very, very broad field. And you can underscore the word science, meaning that we have moved away from looking at animal production as an art. It is now a science. And there are a number of areas that we focus on when we talk about animal science. We talk about using the science to breed animals, the science to come up with new animal products that are safe and healthy for our country. And also we look at field management, which is the primary key or the primary driver to animal production in South Africa. In fact, 70% of our country can only be used for animal production. Hence, we do focus a lot in these different areas of animal production. And what is important for tonight is the science about how do we do animal recording so that we can improve the national herd. So animal science is very, very important when it comes to food security. In fact, almost half of our GDP, agricultural GDP, comes from livestock. So animal science is very, very important, and it has a number of sub-disciplines that are important when it comes to using science in order to drive productivity in this country. So in the nutshell, the focus tonight will be to look at how are farmers using animal science in order to drive productivity. And if you are following the developments, in 2050, we'll be having 9 billion people.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of people to feed.
Yeah.
Hence, we are putting a lot of effort into making sure that we understand animal science so that we can come up with better ways to produce safe and nutritious animal products.
Animal farming and animal production is no longer just an art, but it's also a science. Okay. Sponsorship of
Thank
the
you.
elite cows.
Thank you very much.
ARC National Platinum Bull Awards, sponsored by GMP Leader Products SA. To be considered for the Platinum Bull Award, a bull must be born from an elite cow and demonstrate superior performance traits, making it the best of the best. Very few bulls qualify as the evaluation criteria are exacting. Eligible bulls must have earned a gold merit certificate from the ARC or private phase C tests in 2023, while their dams must have an elite status. The 2024 recipients of this award are as follows. Gert Nels Bonsmara, GJN 22345. Also belonging to Gert Nel, GJN 22450. The Bonsmara NFS 2215 belonging to Nick Sarfontein of Sernick Bonsmaras. Along with the Bonsmara NFS 22203, NFS 22205, NFS 22244, and NFS 22568. Carl Scholes, SA Hereford, ZK 22176. The Pinzale Bull belonging to Bertie van Sail Pty Limited, PZ 220122. Desmond Robertson's Santa Gertrudis, SS 22129. And CB Celia's Sussex, CC 22123. Our heartfelt congratulations to the winners. Thank you to GMP Leader Products SA, our category sponsors, who have been part of these awards for the past 13 years. They play a pivotal role in individual livestock identification, which is so important for traceability, biosecurity, day-to-day farm management, and livestock theft and movement control. GMP Leader Products SA also enable other companies to thrive by allowing them to focus on their main purpose. Thank you for your contribution to the success of the awards. Our second recipient is Nick Sarfontein of the Sernick Group in the Free State. So today I'm hanging out with Nick Sarfontein from the Sernick Group. He is 2024's Mentor of the Year. Nick, first of all, congratulations, Mentor of the Year. Let's start with, what does that mean to you?
Thank you, Tabo.
Look, mentoring is basically holding somebody's hand. If you look at land reform in South Africa, it's a mess. It's been a mess, it's still a mess. Why do 90% plus of land reform projects fail? Because of a few things. A farmer gets land, there's no infrastructure, there's no training, he's got no experience, there's no mentoring, there's no monitoring. So all of these things are important. You've got those 4 elements that a farmer needs to grow. And if you look at how many CPAs there are in South Africa, 1,400, 90% plus of them have failed or are failing. So for the same reasons, there's no training, there's no experience, no mentoring, no monitoring. So that is basically, mentoring is basically holding somebody's hand.
For you, what are the skills that one needs to have to become a mentor?
Well, obviously you need experience. You need to understand the product that you're offering, whether it's beef farming, whether it's maize farming or whatever. You've got to understand it. You've got to have the passion for it. You've got to be able to transfer the skills in a simple, practical way. And we do a lot of practical farmers' days to do that. So but you've got to have a passion for it, because and the one reason why we started it, we need land reform in South Africa to succeed. If we don't succeed, we're going to be, and that's why we're climbing in. We're doing all this stuff out of our own will.
You would be then the perfect person for me to be asking what advancements or improvements that you have seen, especially for the farmers that you have mentored yourself?
Well, the improvement is unreal. We've trained 700 farmers. We've got 2 training centers, one in town, one on the farm. We've trained 700 farmers through 4,000 courses, long courses, NQF 4 courses with short courses. And, talking to these, the former Minister of Agriculture was here last year or 2 years ago, and what she couldn't believe what she saw. What we've developed 45 farmers from nowhere, Bonsmara farmers, beef farmers from nowhere, and they are commercial farmers today, and they've got anything from 150 to 300 cattle, and the cattle looks as good as my cattle. So we had the MSc for Agriculture of the Free State here 2 weeks ago, and she was amazed to see So it's simple. It's not magic. It's not rocket science. It's actually very simple to develop. You just got to do those 4 things right.
And then advice that you would give then for other farmers to also become mentors, because what you do offers such valuable insights to mentees and the young farmers getting into the space. What advice would you give to the other farmers to step into the mentorship role?
Well, there are a number of initiatives, number of farmers that actually do it. Unfortunately, you get mentors and mentors. Yeah. Somebody who's failed in farming and now he suddenly becomes a mentor. You've got to, and there are many of them. And they haven't got the practical experience. They do it for the money, and we don't do it for the money. We do it for the sake of land reform. Successful land reform, because successful land reform is only successful if you develop successful farmers. Yeah. So dishing out land is not land reform. The speed of land reform is, the pace of land reform is fine, but the how it's happening is not. Is a bit of a mess.
And Nick, I also understand that running this entire empire, it does not come at you're not a lone soldier. I understand that you have not even a sidekick, but you have a second in command.
Well, Patrick Sekwatla, I came across Patrick Sekwatla in 2015, and I said I looked at him and I said, this guy's got potential for what we're trying to do. Because at that stage I was really frustrated with what I saw, farmers coming to the farm, to the farm. They were running like headless chicken throughout South Africa, knocking on doors, but there was absolutely no help or support. So I appointed Patrick Sekwatla, and he's my sidekick as far as the development of farmers. But we've got a whole team as well. We've got a whole team of mentors in Kroonstad. We're in a specific office in Kroonstad. So it's not, we're mentoring probably about 50, 60 farmers at this stage. And we're monitoring them on a monthly basis. And we toughen them. If you need to be tough on them, because they've got to advance. If they don't advance, look, we've got a whole program of whereby we're loaning cattle to some of these farmers for a period of 4 years. They keep the progeny, and we take it back after 4 years. And if they don't listen, if they don't advance, we take the cattle back. There's a contract. The problem is also, that you can't take a graduate from university and make him a mentor. He has got the practical experience. Yeah. We're getting 16 graduates now for a period of 2 years from university. We're accommodating here in our training center. So we'll take them through the process. After that, they will be able to mentor farmers, but not at this stage.
Farming can be a very mental draining job, process, occupation, whatever you want to call it. What advice do you want to give, especially young farmers who want to get into this space and say, listen, I've got this piece of land and I want to start farming? What advice do you want to give?
Well, obviously, I learned the hard way. I paid a lot of school fees. I was a part-time farmer for something like 25 years. But I said to myself, I've got to learn from other people. I've got to learn from other people. And my advice would be to government: don't dish out land without deploying an appropriate mentor for that person. Mentorship is so important, absolutely so important. So any farmer that starts, I'm talking about guys who comes from the city. They know nothing about farming. Get a mentor. Some of these guys are young farmers. They grew up on farms, so they understand farming. They learn from their father. Yeah. The father is their mentor. But if you're a private part-time farmer, get a mentor.
Get a mentor indeed. And then finally, Nick, before I let you go, how many bulls do you have behind us?
Well, this feedlot, the capacity of this feedlot is 10,000. Then we've got another feedlot about 20 kilometers from here, which is good, for the foot and mouth problem that we have. If you get foot and mouth, it's not all in one feedlot. Yeah. So we've got 10,000 here, and we've got another feedlot of about 10,000.
That's quite a lot of beef. Nick, congratulations. You're the mentor of the year for 2024, and we wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you, Tebogo.
Patrick, Nick has won the Mentor of the Year for 2024. He speaks so highly of you as his right-hand man. Let's talk about the importance and the significance of this mentorship program.
The importance and significance of the mentorship program to our emerging farmers, particularly emerging farmers of Free State, it was meant to uplift them, to develop them in a way of certainly giving them support so that they can better what they were doing over the years, because most of them, they were practicing inbreeding, livestock inbreeding. But when we start with the support, we introduce the bull exchange with winners, and then these farmers started to practice livestock improvement. So by so doing, our farmers today in Free State and other provinces, their livelihoods have changed. So they also farming for profit.
For the farmer out there who is not quite sure if they should get onto a mentorship program, what advice would you give them, having seen the successes of your program?
Well, for a farmer out there who have not yet get sort of like a mentor who will be able to mentor him or her, they can contact Sernick Group anytime. We'll be able to advise them accordingly telephonically, or even beyond that, we can even suggest that they come to do some practicals with us at the farm, to work physically so that they can earn or gain knowledge practically, or else do some sort of like training with us here for a week or so, farming management courses. So that's basically what we can always offer.
And Patrick, I guess as I close off this conversation, how do you celebrate this victory with Nick? Is there going to be some milk throwing? Is there going to be some wine, some beer?
Well, we will celebrate it in a way of dancing. We like dancing. Basically, we will dance, we will celebrate when it is raining, then we'll have a bottle of wine and then throw it on the, in the cups so that the water can mix with the wine. We don't want to get drunk, that it can be diluted.
Patrick, thank you so much for your time and congratulations to your team for winning.
Thank you very much.
ARC National Special Performance